Memorial Day weekend is the start of the summer grind in USL Championship, but expect a battle tonight. Western Conference Showdown. San Antonio FC welcoming New Mexico United to Toyota Field. We've got the action here on Valley Sports. We say hello from upstairs in the broadcast booth along with Katie Goodman. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. Start with San Antonio FC back home for the first time in a month. And coming off a three-match trip, Katie, pretty good. 6 out of 9 points, even though they lose the finale in Detroit last Saturday. A lot of fireworks, particularly on the attacking end.
Yes, fireworks, firepower, major creativity coming from the attack. We saw it at Las Vegas Lights. We don't even have to talk about the Charleston Battery. That was, I think, a result heard league-wide. But, I mean, just looking at the stats themselves really show just how much. I mean, 34 shots for most of their opponents, 45 for them. Conversion rate, next level, 56.2, my goodness.
Yeah, we'll see if that attack can follow at San Antonio FC back home, where they've struggled to score here over their last couple of home matches as they go against United here tonight. And it'll be the home debut for Tani Oluwaseyi, who put in a performance for the ages in Charleston. 3 goals, 2 assists, and that puts him in some pretty elite company, Katie.
Words can't explain the amount of creativity that Tani adds to the attack here for San Antonio FC. I mean, we've seen it in that game with the Battery, but even to score the game-winning goal in his debut, I can't wait to see what he does here at home.
He's also the 5th player in USL history to contribute to 5 goals in a single game. So off the charts performance, as was the rest of the club in Charleston. Now that leads us to the match tonight with New Mexico United, and points start to become a premium as you get past Memorial Day weekend. As we look at the table in the Western Conference, San Antonio FC is 4th. They're 5 up on New Mexico, currently occupying that last playoff spot.
We know in the past they've given them a run for their money before, so this game is going to be really important for SAFC. They're going to have to take this win if they want to stay in those top rankings.
And New Mexico United is a club that has enjoyed playing in San Antonio. In fact, since Alan Marcin has been at the helm, United has won 4 of the 7 matches, including that 2020 Western Conference Playoff Showdown. It's Military Appreciation Night here tonight at Toyota Field as we honor our service men and women on this Memorial Day weekend. We'll have starting 11s and kick when we return right after this.
How fast of an editor are you? Yeah,
We got time, or we do it live? You want to do it live?
You say.
No,
you
it's
go.
you. It's up to you.
I mean, I feel
if you don't feel good, I'd rather do it live.
I feel like third time's a charm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend is usually the start of the summer grind in USL Championship, but expect a battle tonight at Toyota Field. San Antonio FC and New Mexico United in a Western Conference showdown. Got all the action here on Bally Sports. And a pleasant good evening. We say hello from the broadcast booth with Katie Goodman. I'm Dan Weiss. It's great to have you with us. And Katie, San Antonio FC back home for the first time in a month, coming off a three-match trip in which they take 6 out of 9 points. They lose the finale in Detroit last Saturday. But man, were there fireworks on the attacking end for SAFC.
They really showed up in full force on the attacking side. Between Adeniran, Oluwaseyi in that first game, it was a knockout. But the whole team showed up against that Battery game, and it was a result heard league-wide.
Yeah, Charleston Battery, 7 goals against for SAFC, the most in club history. And just looking through some of the numbers, the conversion rate above 50%. They forced the opponent into almost 70 clearances. The attack was pinpoint, certainly to the delight of Alan Marcina, and leading that charge, Katie. Tani Oluwaseyi is going to make his home debut tonight. In his debut, he gets the game winner in Las Vegas. In his first start, he puts in a performance for the ages that puts him in some elite company in USL history.
And in true San Antonio FC fashion, I'm telling you, Alan Marcina, he knows how to recruit, and he adds next-level creativity to the San Antonio attack. It's going to be a game changer for them moving into the season.
He's also the 5th player in USL Championship history to contribute 5 goals in a single match as well. We'll see what he does for a home performance here tonight. Katie, as we look at the table in the Western Conference, San Antonio FC and New Mexico United separated by 5 points, with SAFC sitting 4th and New Mexico just barely above the playoff line as we hit Memorial Day weekend.
Right, but what we learned in the last game is you can't, overlook anybody, and New Mexico United gave them a lot of trouble last season and in the last matchup, so they're going to have to take this one seriously and get a result. And in fact, New Mexico United really is the one club that Alan Marcina has struggled against in his tenure here in San Antonio. New Mexico has won 4 of the 7 matches since 2020, including that playoff match here at Toyota Field. It's Military Appreciation Night this Memorial Day weekend as we celebrate our service men and women. We'll have starting 11 and kick when we return right after this. San Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Expecting a sellout crowd tonight at Toyota Field as San Antonio FC back at home for the first time since the end of April as they're welcoming in New Mexico United here this evening. And a look at our starting 11s for both sides for New Mexico at 4-3-2, sitting with 14 points, 8th in the Western Conference. They typically run this 4-3-3 formation
and do it very well, particularly with Hamilton and Portillo in the middle, and Alex Timbakis is in net, veteran keeper. San Antonio FC will go back to their three-back formation tonight. Connor Maloney back in the lineup after missing the last 3 matches. And Justin Dillon, along with Tenny Oluwaseyi, back here at home tonight as they play in front of the Toyota Field crowd. And Katie, keys tonight for this match for both clubs.
Right, San Antonio FC, there's no shortage of opportunities, but it's how they execute there in the final third that they're going to have to work on in order to improve that. It's what position they are in, moving into the attacking third, starting off the development really well, and just being aware of that pocket as well between New Mexico United's back line and their midfield. They tend to leave that area open as they are a high-pressing team at times. They get numbers forward very quickly. On the flip side, New Mexico, for them, it's going to be about spreading the field. We all know SAFC is a very direct vertical team, so if they can spread the field, maybe they can break through some seams there. And then, of course, win those 50-50s. SAFC is quite the physical team, and if you can beat them to the ball, then you're winning half the battle.
Olvin Oliva is our center referee. Mitchell Tainer, as he looks on for San Antonio here tonight. SAFC 3-4-1 lifetime in the regular season in 8 meetings against New Mexico United, and we are underway with Katie Goodman and our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here this evening on Bally Sports. Temperature tonight at kickoff, 83 degrees. It feels almost like early April rather than Memorial Day weekend. You go back to last May, it was steamy almost every night. Temperatures in the triple digits by this point. As Timbakis will come up. First run by Justin Dillon for San Antonio FC here. Trying to put their imprint on the match early, Katie, against New Mexico United, who, if there is one club that has frustrated San Antonio FC, particularly here at Toyota Field the last few years, it's the club wearing the traveling yellow and black kits here tonight.
Alan Marcina did express his frustration earlier this week with New Mexico, especially Chris Wayhan, one of those guys who he seems to continue to evade SAFC's back line. Let's see if they can switch things up here. So far, lots of really good early pressure from San Antonio FC.
You mentioned Chris Wayhan. He is New Mexico's all-time leading scorer, 35 goals in 88 matches as a member of New Mexico United. One of 5 original members of that 2019 United squad that is still a member of New Mexico United. And when it comes to San Antonio, Chris Wayhan has scored in each of his last 3 visits to Toyota Field. He has 7 goals lifetime against SAFC, more than any other opponent against San Antonio in USL history.
So what you're saying, Dan, is he has a target on his back.
He would arguably be the least favorable player to make an appearance at Toyota Field for those who have followed SAFC over the years. And again, of course, it was his goal in added extra time in the 101st minute back in the 2020 Western Conference quarterfinals that sent New Mexico through to the semifinals. And it's a goal that is still being talked about around here as you take a look at Wayhan. Was it a handball? As you see his numbers against San Antonio, a lot of folks here thought it was indeed a handball. It counted, and New Mexico went through. San Antonio season came to an end, and I have to wonder if SAFC didn't come away with a title last season, whether that goal would still haunt SAFC fans. This will be conceded back here to Timbakis. New Mexico United in the opening minutes of this one.
Talk about SAFC fans raising a ruckus. That's something that's always guaranteed here in San Antonio. Even if the call is in fact for the other team, I think they'll do their best to support their teams here.
San Antonio, 12-11 goal advantage in the all-time series. In the first couple of years, they dominated New Mexico. A 5-0 win here, had a 3-0 win here. As you look at Zach Prince, who's now in his 2nd season after taking over for Troy Lassane. Here's a look at the all-time series history between the two clubs. By the way, belated congratulations to Coach Lassane. Just a couple weeks ago, named the manager and head coach New York Red Bulls in Major League Soccer. So congratulations to Coach Lassane. Foul whistled on Josh Doling, one of the newcomers for New Mexico here this season, 25-year-old from London who played last year with St. Louis City 2 of MLS Next Pro. San Antonio FC off their 3-match trip. You saw the numbers at the top, outscored the opposition 9-2, of course punctuated by the 7 goals in Charleston. Battery's still atop the Eastern Conference table, so that wasn't a match necessarily that I think you should not take a look at twice when you think about the quality of competition.
Right, and overlooking Detroit City FC, everybody does it, everyone's done it, and you could even do the same here for New Mexico United sitting in 8th place, but if you really look at their more recent record, they're unbeaten since April 26th, with exception of that US Open Cup round of 32 against the formidable foes up north, Austin FC.
United is unbeaten in their last 4 matches, 3-0-1. They have outscored the opposition 10-5 in those 4 matches. Sergio Rivas is on a tremendous run of form right now. He has scored in each of the last 4 matches for New Mexico. Doling down on the pitch there. So get back up to his feet. Battle there along with Fabian Garcia.
Looks like got nicked on the face there a little bit. No foul, it seems.
So with Connor Maloney back, with Mitchell Tainer healthy, it allows Alan Marcina to go back to his 3-back formation, which we saw San Antonio FC play 3 consecutive matches with 4 in the back, which is something they don't do very often here in Alan's tenure. Connor back out on his right flank now opposite Shannon Gomez, and in addition to Washe up top, Rita Zuhir also making his home debut for San Antonio FC tonight. 19-year-old who's on loan from Montreal of Major League Soccer.
On loan, and actually played a couple minutes there at Montreal in the MLS. Got a start for himself as well, which is very impressive for such a young gun. And makes sense why he'd be here in this SAFC team, top of the conference. What a great place to fall, especially if he has any aspirations of going back into the MLS after this.
Rita Zuhir with 12 total Major League Soccer matches to his credit, a homegrown product. He's raised in Montreal. Brought down by Dillon and out wide. Service into the box, and it's headed away by Sam Hamilton. Hamilton wears the armband as the captain for New Mexico. Connor Maloney does the same for San Antonio, and the foul is whistled against Maloney. And Connor will set up the first free kick opportunity of the night for San Antonio FC here in the opening minutes.
And the physicality continues to grow here. Early minutes in the game, which is to be expected for this matchup, but in that last play, Mexico did a great job of dropping very quickly. That's something that SCFC is just going to have to be aware of. It's hard anytime there's 4 in the back and you're playing a direct style game.
The brilliance of the left foot of Jorge Hernandez over the ball here for San Antonio, and he'll actually let it run for Zuhir, and it's headed away. San Antonio will allow the clearance by New Mexico back upfield. Send Shannon Gomez back to play it inside his final third. Jordan Farr upfield. Dillon in making the run. Justin Dillon came on as a second-half substitute in Detroit. Missed the last 8 matches prior to that due to injury. Good to have him back. Good to have him in the starting 11 tonight, fully fit. It's Hernandez, and will play it. Appeared initially off the New Mexico defender, but the ball will be returned back to Tim Backus.
Talked about Justin Dillon. He's one of those players that is almost impossible to compete with out of the air. Between him, Tani up top, it's gonna really benefit SAFC to try keeping to send those balls back line, crosses in up high, trying to win the ball out of the air. We saw that with them in the Charleston Battery. They dominated the air game in that matchup. And
even in the loss last Saturday night in Detroit, they still managed to dominate that match despite the fact that they did not score. They outshot Detroit 19-4 in that match, won the possession 53-47. It was those aerial duels, though, Katie, that San Antonio FC did not get the better of. 57-43, the aerial duel percentage in favor of the home side last Saturday.
Right, which might explain some things since they are typically pretty good out of the air there. But again, slightly uncharacteristic. Another thing Marcina had mentioned that we talked about earlier in the game with the keys to the game was getting in better positions to begin with. you know, maybe they may not have won a ton of duels out of the air, may not have been in a good position to win them in the first place.
Heavy challenge by Batista against Harry Swartz. Doling settles. Zuhair back of the ball. And they're going to slow play up here just to make sure that Harry Swartz is okay. Taking the knock on the head. So they'll reset possession here. Look at Swartz. His third year here in New Mexico. They have 14 returnees from their club from last season, as mentioned. 5 were on the original 2019 squad. I actually was looking back at the lineups from that 2020 playoff match, and New Mexico United has 7 players on their roster that had appeared in that 2020 playoff match. San Antonio FC down to only 3. Mitchell Tainer, Christian Perano, PC.
And that's huge for Mexico United, because not only do you have veteran players who have been in huge playoff settings, but a lot of these guys have played together for 5 years, maybe more. That's an entire brotherhood right there. That's a totally different ball game. You can see in how cohesive and connected they are.
So Will Seymour and feels the pressure from Dillon, and Dillon called for the foul here as we get set to cross into the 11th minute. Connor Maloney was also a member of that 2020 team as well. Don't want to forget the captain, Connor, who tonight appears in his 77th match in league play with San Antonio FC.
Connor, that tried and true, steady presence, really a foundation of the San Antonio FC team, whether it be through leadership or just, you know, through hustle, getting there. Look at this. You can see it live.
The run for Connor, the turn, and the play out wide. Oluwaseyi trying to direct it in. And then trips up Weehan on the counter. Chris Weehan had I would call it a sabbatical, Katie, back in 2021. He went to Orange County to start the year. Played in 14 games, and it just wasn't feeling like he was back home. So he returned to New Mexico, of course, where he's had this tremendous success. Just a couple of weeks ago, crossed 50 goals in USL Championship play. As tonight, this is his 146th match. Laguna Niguel, California native.
Well, you know, it's got to be hard leaving a team where you're topping all the charts, right? I think I'd want to stay there and see if anybody could catch me. But, you know, sometimes you got to leave and see what happens.
The grass is not always greener on the other side, as the saying goes. There's Rita Zuhair. Makes the turn around Rivas. The run for Dillon, flanked out on the right side this time. Dillon trying the service in, is directed out. San Antonio will have the throw here. A more methodical start to this one, as you'd expect. Even though SAFC has been so proficient in the opening quarter hour, they've scored 4 times. 4 of their 18 goals have come in this first quarter hour of the match.
They're a team that starts out with a bang, no spark of energy needed. It just seems to be steadily streaming through their veins at all times.
Connor Maloney, back post, looking in Shannon Gomez's direction. Well done by Harry Swartz, and Amando Moreno will keep it moving. Batista. Gomez, heavy on the touch, loses possession. Swartz laying it off of Gomez, and will earn a throw for New Mexico.
Great thing about Gomez there, he's not only a fantastic attacking player, but awesome at 1v1. Good on him there, trying to contain. Look back here at Connor and that distribution. Just couldn't quite get on the end of it. Fantastic work there from Harry Swartz, coming in big on that one.
New Mexico United sits towards the bottom when it comes to total shots, but their conversion rate, 23%, is number 2 in USL Championship. They do not waste their opportunities. There's Connor Maloney again making the run on Portillo. The service in for Dillon, and again it's Swartz comes away with it, drives it forward for the clearance.
Unlucky miss there. A couple of turnovers here early on for SAFC. Gonna want to clean that up quickly. Try to get more of a rhythm and momentum.
Flag is up on Dillon in the offside position. Yeah, New Mexico's a team that you just don't want to let hang around, because particularly here at Toyota Field, they always seem to find a way, or at least of more recent times.
Right, and although they're a very horizontal team, as you can see here, they are fantastic at getting bodies in the box on a quick transition. If you look at a couple of their goals recently, it's because there's 3-4 guys in the box, some fantastic creative combinations, just splitting the defense and really giving people a run for their money.
In fact, all 15 of their goals have come inside the box. They're not a team that necessarily scores from direct set pieces on frame. Well, SAFC's done that a couple of times this year off the foot of Christian Perano. Yeah, they're a hard-nosed team, just a great culture, great organization. You'd think they'd have a lot more success when it comes to playoff success over the years, but the furthest that they've advanced was the second round, the semifinals, after beating San Antonio FC. And they lost against El Paso in 2020. Their other appearances have all been first-round playoff exits, including last year losing 2-0 at Sacramento Republic.
Things are very different in a playoff setting. The ante's a lot higher, right? And so that's when people tend to step up, get a little more physical and crazy and chaotic, and some teams do well with that, others not so much.
This is Weehan and Portillo both over the ball here for New Mexico. Weehan defers, Portillo, and off of Jorge Hernandez will be another throw.
Great work there from Jorge Hernandez. Quick feet, getting in front of it. That's exactly why you park a player there.
Jorge Hernandez, this is his 4th appearance since joining the club, beginning the season in Belgium. 18 goals in his USL Championship career. All as a member of LA Galaxy 2, the 22-year-old, making his 2nd start. Volleyed along off the backside of Portillo. Shannon Gomez. Upfield in Dylan's direction, Will Seymour there to intercept. Portillo to settle. Swartz volleying back. Hamilton. A little creative and acrobatic with that. And Rivas unable to gain possession. A beautiful turn from Oluwaseyi. Hernandez. Dylan. It opens up. Dylan back post. And turns it wide. The first good build-up for San Antonio and Justin Dillon. Still looking for that elusive goal. He has not scored since July of last year, Katie.
I was just going to say that, but what a fantastic turn, the awareness to put himself into space, and then you see he was going for the opposite lower 90 there. Great wherewithal. It's only a matter of time for Justin Dillon, but you know what I like about him is he is a play creator, has a couple of assists under his belt, very selfless player, and I think that's part of the reason. Maybe he needs to be a little more selfish.
He also just draws the attention of everybody's back line, too. That opens things up for, hopefully tonight, Oluwaseyi and Jorge Hernandez, or perhaps later in the match when we see Nacho Bailoni come on if necessary. Dillon looking to settle here. And that is settled on the pitch there by Timbakis, 30-year-old from Athens, Greece, making his 173rd appearance in USL play and his 70th as a member of New Mexico United. He has gone 29, 22, and 18 in his United career with 15 clean sheets.
Last year was the New Mexico United Defensive Player of the Year, coming in clutch there.
Doling, Moreno, and now Weehan. Swartz. And a giveaway. Errant ball. Can San Antonio turn it into something good? Oluwaseyi. It's Dillon in the box. Dillon, left foot. Great save from Timbakis. And concedes the first corner of the match. But it was the giveaway in the midfield by Hamilton that led to that charge for San Antonio.
And that is just not something that can happen. But look at that there, breaking ankles, getting it over to Dillon. The step over, putting on quite a show here for San Antonio tonight, but fantastic save there from Timbakis. You just can't give San Antonio that opportunity there. Really dangerous spot.
First good opportunity in the 18th minute for SAFC. Rita Zuhair, the in-swinger on the corner. Moons into the back post. Looked like there was contact in the box. But we play on. Mitchell Taylor was brought down.
That looked like a foul to me.
All over the fourth official on the sideline.
That seemed pretty blatant. And you can hear the crowd. They're not very happy about it either.
Shannon Gomez gives it back to Jordan Farr. Hunter Maloney as we cross into the 20th minute. San Antonio FC so dominant here at home, including their playoffs and U.S. Open Cup runs. They entered tonight with a 26-match home unbeaten streak. Last loss coming in April of last season against Phoenix. Batista steps up as he takes it away from Moreno. Batista, top of the box, Zuhair. Turning back here to his left, Zuhair puts it in, Rita Zuhair! Welcome to San Antonio, and the home side is up 1 in the 20th minute.
There must be something about your debut game here for San Antonio FC, because almost every single new guy they've had this season has put it away. And all of that started with Lamar Batista. Fantastic work. Zuhair taking the space, he's got the turn, he has the wherewithal to take even more, and through traffic makes it happen.
It's the first professional goal for Rita Zuhair, the 19-year-old from Montreal, past the outstretched arms of Tim Backus, and San Antonio FC gets out on their front foot against their longtime nemesis, New Mexico United, here in the opening half. Rita Zuhair puts the home side up 1.
As I had mentioned, started with Batista, and a lot of people think, oh, there's these teams, they have a lot of firepower, lots of goals, but it's because of the development of the play coming from your defense, and it's moments like that that make teams really dangerous.
We'll see how New Mexico responds. And it's a good chance here for Sergio Rivas if he gets settled, but ball had a little bit too much air underneath it. And now Jorge Hernandez. Zuhair into the midfield, and good recovery by Wehan creates the turnover. Though Hernandez will take it right back from Rivas. Hernandez a little bit of space. Dylan. Oluwaseyi looking to open up. Right off the ball by Simo.
Just good old-fashioned physicality there on that one. Something we had talked about for New Mexico is winning those 50-50s, something they've been struggling with here at Toyota Field.
Again, though, they've been a team that has been able to find the back of the net in their recent run of form. Multiple goals in each of their last 4 matches. So going down 1 shouldn't necessarily bother them the way that they've played as of late, but it may have changed their tactics. I'm sure they wanted to keep San Antonio off the board here in this opening half.
Uphill battle here early on, but still plenty of time to make something happen. As you'd mentioned, Coach Alan Marcian had mentioned, you know, Wehan, high-scoring player. You'd think he'd want to put a little more attention on him, but he said nope. They have tons of firepower between Moreno, Darling, multiple players.
Foul here on Portillo will go into the books in the 23rd minute. 3rd caution of the season on Portillo. By the way, congratulations to him. He plays in his 200th career USL Championship match here tonight, and now is in the scorebooks as well.
Yeah, now on the sheet in true San Antonio fashion as well with the yellow. I mean, I'm surprised people aren't taking bets on this game for just how many yellows we're going to see, knowing the history of these two teams.
Hernandez and Zuhair. Hernandez clips one into the box. It's headed out of harm's way. Connor Maloney ahead of Moreno. What a run for Connor. Service in is directed out by Swartz.
Maloney with the engine that never stops, despite welcoming a brand new baby last Friday.
And keeps this one in play, and Dillon turns it wide. Again, excellent hustle for Connor Maloney. The proud new papa, who missed the entire trip, who left the day before the match in Las Vegas, was called back home. Wife went into labor. A new father just in time for Father's Day, still showing the hustle. Doesn't look like he's weary-eyed for lack of sleep, Katie.
Not at all, but I don't think he'd be the one to show it at all. But hey, you know, you mentioned it, right in time for Father's Day. Couldn't have planned it any better.
Swartz. It's taken away by Zuhair, who's got the goal in the 20th minute that has San Antonio up 1 here in the first half. 13th goal lifetime against New Mexico United, and the first of the 19-year-old's pro career. Batista, Hernandez, and Fabian Garcia. Abu will volley that out. It'll belong back here to New Mexico United.
Hard hit, but a great win there from Abu. Again, doing anything he can to just at least win the challenge. Sometimes that's really what it takes. It's just setting a tone there, and he does a really great job of that.
Such a steady Eddie, especially in the absence of PC. This is his 59th match as a member of San Antonio FC, going back to the 2021 season as the foul whistled. And Abu is now 4th among active San Antonio FC players when it comes to matches played, behind only Connor Maloney, Mitchell Tainer, and the aforementioned PC.
Has a goal on the sheet as well from a header. Not anything that even he would have expected, but has had a great season so far here for San Antonio.
PC missing another match tonight. The injury report lengthy for San Antonio once again. More on that in a moment. Portillo. Service to the top of the box, and Lachey momentarily had it going out, and on the second clearance, second ball won by San Antonio, play box to box. No Sam Adeniran, no Juan Azakar. PC Carter Manley among the walking wounded tonight for San Antonio FC. Austin Yearwood. Timbakis.
Great movement. See New Mexico getting nice and wide. There's a couple more holes and seams there. If they can just maintain that, it could really cause some problems for San Antonio.
It's the 14th goal given up by New Mexico this season, so they're not a club that typically pitches a clean sheet. In fact, they only have one this year. It's at the bottom of 24 USL clubs. Conceding, not unfamiliar territory for them. We get a foul whistled on Batista.
Yes, a club that definitely returns the favor. Tons of firepower there up top, and you know, I think for them it's just that creativity there in the box. You had mentioned most of their goals coming from the box, and even on set pieces like this, you're going to see runs coming from outside the box, long diagonals, very fast, and that's how they've gotten goals before.
These situations, keep an eye on Moreno wearing number 10, Rivas wearing number 7 inside the box. Go for goal here with Portillo, and it's Jordan Farr comes away with that, and it's not really in New Mexico's wheelhouse necessarily in terms of what they like to do.
Right. San Antonio FC kind of had him pinned there. Great defensive work.
Tremendous out of the tackles from Jorge Hernandez, and he's brought down by Harry Swartz, and a free kick for San Antonio FC.
Fantastic ball control there. I mean, surrounded by a sea of yellow jerseys. Of course, someone's going to have to put a body on him. Look at this, a nice little pullback. Just a tip to the side, keeping it simple. Four yellow jerseys until someone put a body on him.
necessarily a direct set piece here for San Antonio FC. The angle in the box. Zuhair and Hernandez over the ball once again. They put themselves in good positions early to win these set pieces here. It'll be Hernandez this time. We'll do it again.
Always nice to have a second go at it.
I just feel that favors the opponent because you get a sense of what team's trying to do on this set piece.
Maybe, but I'm sure they've got something else up their sleeve. Would like to see a little more movement there from San Antonio in the box, at least starting to stir up some chaos. Sometimes that's enough to get in people's heads.
Hernandez again. Deep ball, headed, volley in the direction of Abu. Can't come down with it. It's Zuhair, settles, concedes. Batista puts it into section 116.
It's a difficult ball to control there. It looked like it had some funky spin on it. He was trying to get it down, and I don't know, it looked like a little bit of a, not sure if he wanted to chip it or drive it, so. Still lots of chances for San Antonio, something we've seen from them time and time again.
Sometimes I drive it on the golf course when I should chip it, Katie, just to point that out.
You know, there's a reason I don't play golf. I can't do either, probably. I can drive it, can't chip it. Definitely can't putt it.
Makes two of us. Past the half-hour mark at Toyota Field, 1-0. San Antonio FC up on the goal by Rita Zuhair in the 20th minute. Doling volleys that forward. Sam Hamilton trying to get Rivas engaged here. Really very little for New Mexico in the final third. And this is a foul. Olo O'Shea. Danny Olo O'Shea made his collegiate soccer at St. John's. Grew up in Mississauga, Ontario, suburb of Toronto. Born in Nigeria. Doling back here for Swartz. Moreno. Defend off Batista, and he's hoping to play that one off of Fabian Garcia. Cannot earn the corner for his club.
Thought for a minute there's going to be a little bit more trouble coming from New Mexico on that one. They're a team that really does well in quick transition, but as soon as SAFC gets numbers back, that's where things start to slow down a bit.
Rondo Moreno, 27-year-old who has 16 goals in his New Mexico United career. As Marcina mentioned, they've got a lot of firepower across that top line. Connor Maloney. Olo O'Shea. Sam Hamilton defending. And it's going to belong to Timbakis. It's going to be a throw for San Antonio.
Another key player missing for New Mexico United is Ryden there from the back line. He had a double yellow in the last game, meaning he had to miss this one. And he leads the team in clearances. So, as we know anything about defense, coaches do not like to change the back line at all whatsoever.
It's a big loss for them. Ryden had started all 9 of their matches here, so instead they go with the rookie Kyle Colonna from San Diego State tonight to fill his spot. It's a first career start for Colonna and just his second match. But like San Antonio FC, if there's a back line that you're going to go in with that has so much familiarity, it's this New Mexico club with Yearwood, Swartz, been together for a long time. Will Seymour's in his second season with the club. It's not bad for the rookie Colonna here to make his first start, and there he is with the ball. Colonna will send it forward.
Doing a great job, seems to fit in seamlessly, and you know, sometimes that's how you get your break into the lineup, is just showing up big, and when coach needs you, and whether you stay in the back line or not, it's still an opportunity.
Getting a lot of help though from Sam Hamilton coming back. Hamilton, who has played that role as a defender here in New Mexico, so he can come back from the midfield position to help out as well. Moreno will keep this one in play. Portillo over the top. He's looking in Hamilton's direction this time. Portillo was among the leaders in chances created last year in USL Championship. So, amongst the leaders in crosses attempted, it's really the engine that makes their attack run. Doling. Back to Austin Yearwood.
Great look there. It was clearly very congested there up top. This creates some space. Maybe they can get in from the back, behind the back line.
The run for Hamilton. Finds Moreno. There's the pocket. This opens it up now. Doling settles. Tried to drop it to Weehan. Not enough on that second touch to get it over to Weehan, the striker. A giveaway by Abu that allows New Mexico's wave to come back. Weehan this time with Doling up top. Portillo switching the play. Yearwood.
Too bad for New Mexico. They couldn't make something happen on that last development. It was very reminiscent of how previous goals have been scored.
Nicely done for Rivas. Nice recovery for Connor Maloney. Fortunately, it will concede a corner to New Mexico United, which will be their first corner of the evening. San Antonio did not concede a corner all last Saturday in Detroit.
Which makes the result hurt even more.
Shea directs it out, and like he directed it out, but Oliva says otherwise. Returns the ball to Jordan Farr. As we inch ever so closer to the halftime whistle, San Antonio FC settling in here to a 1-0 advantage over visiting New Mexico United. They've performed so well on the road here for Zach Prince over the last couple of seasons. Doling sending it over in Moreno's direction. Able to keep it in play. Go back to Doling. It's Shannon Gomez stepping forward. And out it goes. Last season, New Mexico United, 7 wins against just 3 defeats and 7 draws on the road. They outscored the opposition 24-18 for Zach Prince. And funny enough, going back, of course, to that 2020 season, it was, of course, the COVID year, abbreviated schedule, everybody was playing in their pods. New Mexico didn't have home matches in 2020. Kelowna feeling footsteps of Dillon. Dillon lays it out of the lone back to Tambakis. Good poise there from the rookie Kelowna.
Great poise, and still threw his hands up nonetheless, and I think it was a fair challenge, but all is well that ends well on this one.
To finish the point, though, New Mexico United didn't play a single match in the Enchanted State in 2020. They were built for the road, Katie, and that's why they came into Toyota Field that October evening with so much confidence and were able to pull away and pull out the W.
Wow, I mean, that's the thing about COVID. A lot of people have found very different versions of themselves due to that pressure and change, and that's one really solid adaptation.
Gomez loses it along the touchline. Restrictions in New Mexico among the more harsher ones in terms of what gatherings could take place, and sports gatherings, even outside sports gatherings of such magnitude, were not allowed in 2020.
What a strange time to think back on it. It doesn't seem real almost, like a blur.
Moreno, nice ball in the direction of Hamilton. A good recovery for Shannon Gomez. Portillo will keep it moving forward. Seaman. Amando Moreno escapes the tackle of Zuhir. Zuhir stepping back forward, works it free. And this one drops to Harry Swartz. Swartz into the box, misses his runner. As Doling was there at the top. And now the counter for San Antonio. They go quick here, trying to perhaps spring something, but it was well read by New Mexico.
That it was, and great recovery from San Antonio. Still tried to play it out with some quality. Wasn't just a Hail Mary clear either, so good stuff there. But I think we're seeing New Mexico starting to heat up here. Hoping to get a goal in before the end of the half.
They have not been able to get a shot off, but the attack found something that's worked a little bit here as Jorge Hernandez. And run this time, Tambakis comes away with it. But again, New Mexico, it's funny. They don't offer a lot in terms of shots, but the shots that they do put on frame seem to find their way into the net when you think of a 23% conversion rate.
Right, and I think it's because of the quality tiki-taka that you see as they transition very quickly into the box. They get numbers in, they wreak havoc. If there's any point in time where you've only got 2 defenders in the back for SAFC, that's when it's going to get a little hairy there.
15 goals on 39 shots for New Mexico, and for San Antonio with the Zuhir goal, that's now 19 goals on their 56 shots. Shannon Gomez. Plenty of daylight here up this left flank. Nicely done by Dylan, sneaking out of the back there, but he's offside.
Oh, that's too bad. Bit of a slip there from Gomez too, but almost really worked out in his favor. That's something that Dylan does so well. Even though it's a very direct strategy, he's the guy that really pulls the back line wide, creates opportunities for other guys to run in from the midfield.
Shea trying to make the turn. Yearwood, foul on Kelowna. Allows San Antonio FC to continue here.
Oluwaseyi is somewhat quiet here in this matchup. Seen a couple of great things, some breaking of ankles there as he takes on defenders one-on-one.
I guess quiet is relative when you consider what he's done over the last couple of matches on the road.
Yeah, we're going to need a hat trick and 2 assists every single game, please. I mean, even a game winner would be nice, right?
What a performance, though, a couple of Saturdays ago in Charleston. 7-0 San Antonio FC goes in and thumps the leaders in the Eastern Conference there. Biggest win and highest goal output in club history.
It was one of those situations as a viewer, as you're watching, you're thinking, wait, another goal and another goal?
Batista, Dylan, get to the end of that, and it's turned out by Portilla. San Antonio playing up 1 with Zuhir making the nifty turn there, finding Jorge Hernandez. Runs into a crowd, keeps possession moving. Swartz clips him, and the ball rides out off of Hernandez. It's going to belong back. They're going to award San Antonio a free kick here on the edge of the box.
Rightfully so. Let's take a look back at it here, but hands on the hips. We're giving him quite a bit of problems and came in. Well, he didn't come in from behind, but I think that might have been accumulation of what he was having to work through just to get to that point.
And just momentarily a little confused by center referee's signal. He was pointing back to Tambakis, almost as if the ball was going to belong back to him, but then clarifying that indeed a free kick won by San Antonio. So Jorge Hernandez right at the edge of the 18-yard box here. Looking to the back post. And drops to Garcia! Fabian Garcia's done it! Just before halftime! His second goal of the season and a big one for San Antonio in the 43rd minute.
Garcia is such a fantastic presence, not only in the back line, but he has really done a number up top on these set pieces. Let's take a look back at this. Looks like the ball's a little bit loose. He gets around it and just takes advantage of it there, and that is the name of the game. Goal's a goal, and that's got to feel good being 2 up on this New Mexico team.
So San Antonio FC has put forth a stellar opening 45 minutes against their rivals from New Mexico. Fabian Garcia's third goal as a member of San Antonio FC, is second this year. And that's, I was going to say before, prior to that this game still felt like a bit of a chess match, even with SAFC up 1. I was wondering that New Mexico wasn't playing direct enough. Well, now down 2 goals here just before halftime. They have no choice but to be more direct here over the next 45 minutes.
Right, that 2-goal cushion is so nice, but it's also one of the most dangerous leads in soccer because you start to get a little comfortable, and that's when that rebuttal goal comes back, and then it's a whole new ball game after that. But San Antonio's going to have to keep up that pressure because, you know, New Mexico, they have that same firepower.
New Mexico knows that 2-goal curse, all so familiar after squandering a 2-goal lead at home against RGV a few weeks ago. Toros coming up with 2 late goals to equalize and send United home smarting in a 2-2 draw. That's their basically lone blemish in their last 4 matches, so to speak.
And you know, it's better to have those blemishes early on in the season. You learn your lesson. You remember, hey, we've got to keep our focus all the way through here and not start backing off and taking things easy.
Moreno. Swartz. Cross Yearwood. 1 minute, just 1 minute at a time here at the end of the opening half. Good step up by Mitchell Tainers. Connor Maloney will return to Tainer on the far side. Really open up the play on both sides as well, too. San Antonio FC is going to have a lot of daylight you'd expect in the second half, as New Mexico up against it, conceding twice in this first 45 minutes here at Toyota Field.
Really loved that last service from Tainer. Oluwashi had a nice bend on that run. If he had maybe started a couple steps sooner, would have been a third.
San Antonio FC hasn't lost consecutive matches since 2020. And they're up 2 goals here after 45 minutes tonight at Toyota Field. Heading into halftime, but still a lot of soccer to be played. Jorge Hernandez. Can they make it a third here before the whistle? Dropped in. And a great tackle and challenge there by Moreno, wins it away. So San Antonio FC will go to the halftime locker room up 2 goals.
Great for San Antonio FC, but a lot to talk about there for New Mexico United. Again, not a bad game, doing a great job defensively, but what can they do to get up in that attack a little more in this next half?
Fabian Garcia with the goal, followed up by Rita Zuhir as well. Lamar Batista be walking the pitch with Brian Colbert on the other side as we go to break. It's 2-0 San Antonio FC with the lead over New Mexico United as we continue on this Memorial Day weekend here on Valley Sports.
How you doing today, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Appreciate you walking the field with What's good, SAFC family? Brian Coper here with my guy, Lamar Batiste. Lamar, how you doing today, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Appreciate you walking the field with us.
PC, the outswinger here. It's headed. It's in. It's 2 for San Antonio. And Lamar Batista has added to the lead in stoppage time in the opening half.
Now, your start to being a part of the SAFC family was very different. You pulled up on a 25-day contract.
Yep.
Now, there's not a lot of guarantees in that. You're moving to a new city, going to a new team, a championship team at that. What is your thought process when you take that gamble on yourself?
Just be ready, you know. Opportunities are given to you and just be ready. So luckily, I feel like I was, ready for the opportunity instead of just kind of waiting around for one to come my way.
And you definitely made your own opportunity. You come here, first home game, and get one of the most incredible goals I've seen since being a part of the USL. You got that bicycle kick. Now, is that something you practice? Is that something that or is it just happen in the moment?
Honestly, those are kind of just in-game things. Yeah. I'm never gonna practice a bike in case I miss and fall or something. So it's just kind of, you feel it, you go for it.
Have you ever hit one of those before?
When I was younger, yeah.
Like how much younger are we talking?
Maybe freshman year of high school or 8th grade or something.
So we got really something special there.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed off the rip is you paint your nails, man. Your nails are painted and almost a different paint every game. What is that about? Where does that come from? That is not something I don't think we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just me, really. I just I did it one time a couple years ago and just kind of fell for it. And after that, it's just been one of those things. Back home, I do some coaching with some little girls back home, and oftentimes I hit them up, they hit me up to go get our manicures and pedicures and stuff. So it's been fun. More of a fashion thing for me, but I enjoy it, I like it.
So you actually go to a shop, but you don't do it yourself?
No, I go in, yeah.
So what is the reaction when you pull up, you 6'8", 6'6", and you walk in to get your nails done? Do you have a funny reaction to that?
No, honestly, it's the best experience. They're all so friendly and so nice to me. I get a lot of attention there because they're like, oh, you're here for a pedicure? I'm like, no, I need my nails done, gel coat, and they're like, okay, and they just, they love it.
They're like, this guy knows what he wants.
It's 2-0 San Antonio FC at home with a lead over New Mexico United after 45 minutes of soccer. We continue here on Valley Sports. Katie Goodman, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us up here in the broadcast booth. And Katie, I mean, San Antonio FC, when you consider kind of the history between them and New Mexico United over the last couple of seasons, particularly here at Toyota Field, there seemed to be a point of emphasis getting out on their front foot, attacking early, and it worked. And not only that, they defended about as well as they could in that first 45 minutes.
I mean, they came out sparks fully loaded. It seemed like only a matter of time before a ball found the back of the net. And, of course, you got to love the debut goal there from Zuhair. Just did a great job there of finding space, making things happen. We'll take a look back at here. First, Dylan, he has an opportunity, goes for that opposite low 90. Not a bad idea. He tried to go for it again, really giving their back line some trouble. And he takes another shot, very similar look there, but just not enough pace on it. We look back here. Zuhair, the goal coming imminent. Again, he had taken that space, very composed. It's like the ball's glued to his foot there and just found that opposite 90 through traffic. Good stuff. And of course, it is the foul that led to the second goal. Jorge Hernandez giving United a run for their money. But here, let's have a look. The ball makes it across. Great defending, but loose ball in the box. That means Fabian Garcia is going to pass, go, and collect.
And Jorge Hernandez will get his first assist as a member of San Antonio FC with a service on the set piece. Garcia's second goal here in the last 3 matches. He scored as well in Charleston, part of that 7-0 win a couple of Saturdays ago. And, you know, when we look at the numbers here, Katie, from this first, I mean, it's going to show how dominant of a 45 minutes that was for San Antonio FC.
Yeah, not a single shot there from New Mexico United. I'm sure there's lots to talk about at the half. Complete dominance from SAFC, but pass accuracy still not too bad from United. They did have a couple turnovers. They're going to have to do a lot better job winning things out of the air in this and just winning those 50-50s in general.
Yeah, and they're just going to have to be more direct. It was almost as if they were trying to rewrite history. It seemed, we're going to play this one, slow it out, play it deliberate. We'll try to get to the half 0-0, and then we'll find some Wehan magic in the second half and walk out of here with a win. Well, the script has been rewritten, so to speak, by San Antonio FC. And if New Mexico United is going to get back into this match, they're going to have to write a new script in the second half.
That they are, and they can help do that by defending a little bit higher up the field, trying to create a little bit more space, really spreading out the field. San Antonio does a great job of defending as a unit. If you can create some space between the lines, your chances are a lot higher of getting a goal against.
More halftime for New Mexico to think about it here as we go forward. 2-0 at the half at Toyota Field as we continue here on Valley Sports. 2-0 at the half. San Antonio FC with the lead, thanks to goals from Rita Zuhir and Fabian Garcia, putting the home side up here on this Memorial Day weekend. And a look around the rest of USL Championship here on this Saturday night. It's another win for Tampa Bay, sending Colorado Springs Switchbacks to their 4th consecutive loss. RGV and Charleston scoreless at the half down in the Valley. Later tonight, Oakland and San Diego Loyal. Last night, Sacramento Republic. They improved to 27 points atop the Western Conference table with a 4-1 win over Hartford. And Las Vegas Lights finally gets a win to pick up their first victory, and they did it on the road in Phoenix, 1-0 away at Phoenix Rising. Second half action coming up on the other side. Katie rejoins me. San Antonio up 2 here on Bally Sports. San Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Start of the second half. San Antonio up 2. We'll make a couple of substitutes here to begin the second 45. As you see Rita Zuhir, one of the 2 goals in the first half. Nico Hansen will come on in place of Justin Dillon. And Christian Perano is on for Jorge Hernandez to start the second half for San Antonio FC. New Mexico United will run with the same 11 that they ended the half. Belief is Zach Prince is in search of seeing something from his group, at least for the first quarter hour of this second half, before he goes to his bench and tries to change the complexion of this match.
Right, in that situation, it would really be the only answer. Otherwise, all else is madness. And again, it's not a bad performance here from New Mexico, but if they want to beat a team like SAFC, they're going to have to bring something a little bit different. We know they're most dangerous and clinical when they're playing tiki-taka.
Tambakis.
So the question is how do they set themselves up for those types of situations? And it's going to be on a quick transition.
They just have not really been able to get Rivas or even Weehan involved very much. Weehan just kind of sitting underneath. He's just been looking for something. It just has not been there. They've hardly gone to Rivas on the left side, but a lot of credit has gone to Alan Marcina and his club. They've been well prepared for what New Mexico is trying to do so far in this match.
Marcina knew going into this that despite all the work and research he did on Weehan, that he could bring something totally different. He's such a great player.
Portillo and Weehan over the ball here, and an early set piece for New Mexico. Portillo into the box, volleyed across, and the clearance made, lands to the aforementioned Weehan, but he's unable to settle, and turned out Perano. He's got a runner in Hansen. Hansen able to hold up his run, allows New Mexico to get back and recover. Nico Hansen fakes, Hansen, cut back, Hansen still in possession, drops it off Oluwaseun. What a touch for Tanny, but he just couldn't open up with the shot. Shannon Gomez gives it a go, and it's wide and over goal. But boy, almost You felt like Christian Pirano needed to release that ball a second soon.
That he did, and you know, once he took a couple more touches, he realized, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I'm going to have to try to dribble my way out of this. And I think at that point he was waiting for the opportune moment to send it off to Tani. But yeah, maybe had he sent that a couple steps sooner, that would have been a goal.
Throw is going to be awarded to San Antonio, even as Rivas comes to quickly take the ball. Much to his dismay. Sergio Rivas has goals in his last 4 matches coming into tonight. Nobody for New Mexico has even put a shot on frame through 45 minutes. Pirano. A burst into the box. Trying to dribble out of that one and taken away from him. And that's the one thing against New Mexico, Katie, you can't do is oftentimes try to dribble out of 4 players there.
Yeah, once they start getting numbers back, then you're really in trouble. But San Antonio has done a great job of getting themselves in position. Typically, it's that final pass they struggle with, but part of the issue here is just holding on to it a smidge too long. You know, I think sometimes when you're up 2-0, you're hoping, hey, is this going to be another huge game where we get lots of goals on the score sheet and people start to get a little greedy? But I think all in all, the development is of serious quality for SAFC in the attacking third.
Pirano making his 66th appearance with San Antonio FC as Yearwood gets forward. Now they'll work it in Rivas' direction. Sergio Rivas. Corner of the box, turns back away from Tainer. Well done by Tainer. What a turn there from Oluwaseyi. And wins the ball away for the rookie Colonna. Oluwaseyi gets a little bit of a tug, drives his way in, just bounces off Colonna. Colonna is put in front, and San Antonio chips in! Where's the flag up? It's up, wave off the goal. The offside flag was up, the goal waved off for Nico Hansen.
Oh, you know, that's got to hurt for Hansen. What a great opportunity, though. Oluwaseyi, yes, he went in, he dribbled, but held it for the perfect amount of time. One of those players who, once he has the ball at his feet, it's like glue, and he just held it in just enough time to draw the defenders away from Hansen, and that's what you want if you're going to go at a back line 1v1. Take a look back here. 3 guys on him. A Meg. Almost looked like more of an own goal.
And indeed, saved by the flag, so to speak. But New Mexico knows they cannot concede a third here if they're going to have a shot.
If you're not actively creating scoring opportunities, it's only a matter of time before the opposite happens in the back of your net. So SAFC all on the same page. Mexico.
They get a little look here for Moreno. A little bit of space. Rivas, and Jordan Farr is there. That is the first shot on frame, and it comes 51 minutes into the match off the right foot of Sergio Rivas.
And with that situation handled very well there by New Mexico. Held the ball just long enough to get a one-touch shot off, and hey, that's all you can ask for. Good stuff, but Jordan Farr with better hands.
The giveaway is Rivas then trying to catch Farr off his line. Jordan's able to recover. It's not the time for San Antonio FC to get a little sloppy here, even playing with a 2-goal advantage. Last year, San Antonio was victimized with a 2-goal advantage, ironically also against RGV. Shea ball pinballs around. San Antonio thought it might have resulted in a handball. We play on. Moreno flicks it along in Doling's direction. Moreno is brought down from behind. And a foul on Batista. Batista leads USL in yellow cards. He's drawn 6 of them through 11 matches this season. Not a category you necessarily want to lead. Another category he does lead, those clearances, 56. That's first among all defenders.
Batista, truly an integral piece of the puzzle there for SAFC. Just one of the most quality defenders that I've had the pleasure of watching, but also his ability to distribute is really next level.
Portillo is looking in Doling's direction. And this has definitely been much more direct from New Mexico to start the second half. They've gotten the memo. That might put Batista in the books for the 7th time this year. And the card is already in the hand of Olvin Oliva. Will send Lamar Batista to his 7th caution, and he's not done with him just yet.
We've all been there where we try to hide behind the other players and act like it didn't happen and pretend you can't get your eyes on the ref, but ref is going in to hunt him down and make sure he knows.
And Weehan is pretty upset here because it's allowing New Mexico wants to go quick. This is allowing San Antonio FC to drop back and set here on this set piece opportunity.
Quite a bit of frustration from Weehan. Finish that thought in a minute.
Weehan will get it back from Portillo. Service to the back post. Lachey will turn it out. It's kept alive by Yearwood. Well done, Yearwood. Low cross in is directed out by Sam Hamilton. Back to Jordan Farr.
Man, if there was an opportunity, that would have been it. Great win there again. It's looking like United starting to wake up a little bit, but going back to my point before, Weehan, you're seeing a little bit of frustration from him, and I think a lot of that is just Fabian Garcia's fantastic work on the defensive side. It's just not giving him any room at all whatsoever. Almost has completely eliminated him, kept him quiet.
Rivas playing it off of Fabian Garcia there. Moreno volleying it forward. Batista skies it high. And Yearwood will settle underneath. Hamilton. Brought down by Rita Zuhir. Swartz. Doling. Well played there from Fabian Garcia. There's so much daylight in the middle of the field right now that if San Antonio FC gets a look at a counter, their eyes are going to shoot wide open.
Right, something we had mentioned in those the keys early in the game. There's always that little pocket there as New Mexico eager to get numbers up, and didn't look like much of a shove or a push at all whatsoever there. Taking advantage of it nonetheless.
Tio quickly switching in the direction of Harry Swartz. Doling will get on the end of it, running on Garcia now.
As mentioned, tensions running high there between Weehan and Garcia.
Batista will take the throw. Moreno, Doling, able to connect there with Weehan. Rivas. Portillo. Yearwood and Rivas again. Much better from New Mexico here to start the second half.
They're beginning to dictate play a little more, doing better with switching the ball here. I mean, I think we've seen 2 or 3 switches just in the last couple minutes alone.
Over the top for Moreno. And forces San Antonio to concede the corner. There's just, again, there's play with purpose. There was no play with purpose in the first half for New Mexico.
Right, it was almost entirely reactionary, just trying to handle the onslaught of high press energy from San Antonio FC, which is a thing a lot of clubs struggle with when they come here. But again, we have a whole second half to get through, and if New Mexico starts waking up, SAFC is going to have to step up too.
Rivas heads it, it's loose, it's in, and United is on the board.
But there's a whistle.
Well, I think this goal will count. I think it's just a matter of getting the ball back and putting it at the center of the park. So New Mexico United in the 57th minute cashes in. Their onslaught pays off. We'll see who gets credit for this goal. This ball was ping-ponging around inside the box.
Almost on cue. Farr with the great save early on, but just couldn't get to the end of it there on traffic. Nothing Farr could have done in that situation. Caught a little bit flat-footed there at the top of the 5.
And it was Kyle Colonna, of all people, making his first career start. The rookie has got his first career goal. Wow. How about that for Kyle Colonna?
Wow. I think we'll probably be seeing a lot more of him moving forward, but that just goes to show the level of depth that United has in their squad.
Unbelievable. And an entirely different complexion to this match now.
As goals do tend to put the wind in the sails for a lot of teams, but even before that first goal, as we'd mentioned, they were dictating play. They were coming in, creating things, and just putting a pulse check on San Antonio. Unlucky there for them.
Oluwaseyi behind the defense. Oluwaseyi missing on that back post. Oh, a chance for San Antonio FC to stifle the response of New Mexico. And Oluwaseyi, who has not missed very much in his first 3 matches, misses wide.
Can't blink on Oluwaseyi. Look here, fantastic timing. Maybe if he had gone for the chip, but you know, he did a great job in that attack. And just like that, taking advantage of that quick counter, you had mentioned it, we had talked about this. If they keep that up, they might just get a third.
Still a half hour remaining. United probably feeling phenomenal right now. Weehan, Yearwood, Rivas dancing past Gomez, or Abu rather. Good recovery. Rivas gives it a go over goal. Just amazing. Again, you wonder, where was this from New Mexico in the first 45 minutes? Just, again, it almost felt like they just wanted, they had an idea of how they wanted to play this match, not get into a back and forth shootout with San Antonio FC, but, I mean, again, this was a club that scored 10 goals coming into this match over the last 4 matches. Didn't look like it in the first 45 minutes. Completely different here in the first quarter hour of the second half.
Right, therein lies the beauty of the halftime chat. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like it worked here for United, but I think a big part of that was just dictating play and winning those first and second balls, just handing it back to SAFC, giving them a little bit of their own medicine and just taking advantage of the opportunities in the box.
Outshot San Antonio 4-1 here so far in the second half. This is going to be a free kick to San Antonio FC with the foul on Harry Swartz.
When I talk about dictating play, I'm also talking about defending higher up on the field, forcing San Antonio to do something that's maybe uncomfortable, forcing a turnover, and then when you bring it back into the counterattack, doing so with purpose, and that's exactly what they've been doing.
So the goal for Kyle Colonna, first of his career. Another goal in the box, make it 16 for New Mexico. A free kick here for San Antonio FC. Zuhair trying to go for goal, blasts it right into the wall. Connor Maloney. Surveying, crossing, Moreno volleying it out. Zuhair missing wide.
But a great opportunity nonetheless. I'm really liking what Zuhair has been bringing to the center of the pitch. Such a quality player. I think we're going to see a lot more from him after this. I really love the combinations that he and Hernandez had going on there and some of the havoc that they were creating for New Mexico. And you know, sometimes you make a couple changes and that really has a ripple effect.
No shots for New Mexico United in the first half. 5 in 15 minutes here so far in the second half. Garcia back to Jordan Farr. 2-1 with a half hour remaining. And now this is where this matchup and all its history really gets tasty in these last 30 minutes. Because then it becomes really in a way, a chess match of the coaches and how they use their substitutes going forward here. Oluwaseyi over the top, looking for Pirano. Drops down to Yearwood and will direct it out.
Great look, great intention. Just gonna struggle to get on the end of that one either way. But a good pulse check there for New Mexico.
Pirano! San Antonio FC. And they've just been a little bit off on these last few chances. Oluwaseyi, Zuhair, and now Pirano.
Great distribution, wide open shot, happens to the best of us. Still a good look, good intention nonetheless, but yeah, maybe a little bit the nerves getting in the way. Sometimes when it's too easy of a shot, that's the hardest one to take. Not to say that it was easy by any means, but you know, based on what we've seen play out so far here in the match.
I think it goes without saying that the next goal of this match for either side is a big one.
Huge, huge.
And it could be San Antonio. Shannon Gomez. Good recovery there for Harry Swartz. Gomez still on the ball. Forced out of the box. Pirano again. Oluwaseyi. And well done there by Yearwood, directing that one out. Concedes the corner, but he'll gladly do that instead of allowing Oluwaseyi the target to try to get the third for San Antonio.
Solid defense there for New Mexico, but would have been nice to have maybe one player coming out from midfield trying to pick up off the 18. Good stuff nonetheless, but quite a pickle there is Oluwaseyi. Solid tackle. Still not out of the woods yet for New Mexico.
Zuhair, an outswinger here from the near stick. That's dangerous in the box. Batista is away with it. Back out. Abu looking back post. Flicked down. Cleared out. Doling will volley it out. Weehan.
Went front post on that one, but they have Mitch Tainer camped out backside.
Far as Hansen back onside at the last moment. He was in an offside position. Came back on. That allows the opportunity on the throw for San Antonio FC. And now Zach Prince will go to his bench for the first time this evening. These will be two interesting substitutes in terms of the spectrum of where they're coming from here, Katie. One is Josh Suggs, who begins the night 73 minutes away from 20,000 minutes in his USL Championship career. The other substitute, Alex Wagner, is an 18-year-old who's on an academy contract, who will appear in his 6th professional match with New Mexico United.
Just 19 years old. He is actually the 10th Academy player in club history, only the 4th to sign a contract, so this is a huge moment for him.
You see Suggs, 2nd all-time in minutes in USL Championship history. He won't get to 20,000 tonight, not enough minutes available in this one. But the veteran, the native of Las Cruces, New Mexico, appearing in his 93rd match for New Mexico United, the most in club history. And on the other side, Wagner, who, well, he won the Golden Boot, the MVP of the USL Academy tournament last year. So, again, different sides of the spectrum. Wagner wears 72, Suggs wears 5. Here's Abu. That's how much trust Zach Prince has in the youngster from the academy. Put him in this match, 2-1 the way it's transpired here over these last few minutes.
19-6-0 at 170. I put my trust in him too. Looks like he can hold his own out there.
It's a foul on Sam Hamilton. As he sends Pirano to the ground. Free kick and a dangerous one coming up for SAFC.
Take a look back here at this foul. And hands up high in the chest. It's going to be a foul all day long. Good call there from the ref.
Decisions. Do you clip this to the back post? Do you go for goal here from this spot? Zuhair and Abu trying to give you both sides of the coin. Zuhair towards that back post. It's headed down and wide.
Great look there. When you have 3 in the wall like that, it almost totally eliminates the front post unless you get a soft chip and hope to get something in traffic. So not a bad placement there to the back post, but
just to put a wrap on the subs for New Mexico, Suggs came on for Kelowna, the rookie's night, and his first ever career start is in the books. And what a memorable start it was as he comes up with his first career goal. And Wagner, the Academy product, is on for Doling. Here's Pirano. Zuhair, plenty of daylight. Zuhair gives it a go. Again wide with that attempt. It's twice he's gone wide off that right foot.
great work there from Zuhair. Let's take a look back at it. All the space, a little bit of a mishit, but still not much. Zuhair has brought serious quality there to the midfield, doing great work both offensively and defensively. Yes, he's playing a little bit higher, more of a support to the attack, but you love it, especially the defense loves it when you have an attacking midfielder who can also get back and help keep things connected.
He's missed twice with his right, Katie. He connected with his left. Just saying.
Maybe switch things up a bit.
Here's Pirano off the giveaway. 3 against 1. Pirano! 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 The side of the cage. And New Mexico survives again.
Oh, the deceiving side netting. I think everyone in this stadium was holding their breath. Look at that drive, that intensity. He even gives a little body fake before he has at it, and maybe just took a couple one too many touches, closed the angle off a smidge. Also had some guys running in the box. Again, creating great chances.
San Antonio now up to 16 shots in this match. 16-6 unofficially. SAFC with the advantage. Of their 16 shots, only 4 have been on target.
Kyle Kelowna, one of the goal scorers tonight for New Mexico, really holding things down. Actually joined as a trialist. He was a 4-year starter at San Diego State University, a 2-year captain there, helped his team get ranked 41st in the nation, excuse me, 14th in the nation. And how incredible to join the team as a trialist, to get an opportunity in the back line, a position that doesn't typically turn over, and then to help your team potentially work towards a result. Yeah,
the only reason he played tonight was because Kalen Ryden was serving a 1-match suspension for picking up 2 cautions in their last match against Loudoun United. A stumble there by Yearwood allows Oluwaseyi to put it forward. Hansen, edge of the box. Hansen! And intercepted by Yearwood coming back.
Close call after close call. We've seen time and time again this happens with SAFC, and when they continue to bring it, usually goals follow thereafter. That one was a little sketchy.
Alan Marcina shakes his head. He has seen 3 or 4 monumental opportunities somehow elude his club. And again, it just leaves the door open for New Mexico at this point. And again, here's another one. Oluwaseyi, he was heavy on that touch, and it allowed Yearwood to come over and put it out. It'll result in the 3rd corner of the evening for San Antonio FC.
Oluwaseyi has done a great job of getting himself into positions that are not only beneficial for him, but for his teammates. Would have loved to see a diagonal, a little stronger diagonal to front post there from Hansen, but these guys, they are putting in some serious time and energy, and as they've spent most of their half there in the attacking third.
That ball is down, and put over goal again.
That was a tough one. I think had he leaned forward any more, probably would have been intercepted by the traffic, but still. Sometimes moments like these is where frustrations start to begin to show. We start to see players force stuff.
So bizarre because San Antonio FC playing with the lead up a goal here, and yet they almost look like the team that's fighting it here, trying to get the equalizer.
And I think that's what makes them so successful. They know that this team has the ability to come back and win it. They know the history.
Well, I was going to say, as long as you leave the door open and as long as Chris Wehan's still out on the field, nobody in the stadium should feel very good right now.
Yeah. Just too many close calls. A lot of people holding their breath, standing up out of their seats only to sit back down. Reminiscent of Catholic Mass, right? Stand up, sit down.
Swartz will come off. Santi Moar will come on, the Spaniard. Here are the 3 goals on the evening tonight. San Antonio FC gets it started. Ritazu here with his first of his pro career in the 20th minute. And just before halftime, Fabian Garcia drives in his second in the 42nd minute. New Mexico rallies. Kyle Colonna, the rookie from San Diego State, in the 57th minute, pulls the visitors to within 1. And now New Mexico with a corner themselves here, their 3rd of the match. Ball dropped free inside the box, but a foul was whistled. And a belong back here to Jordan Farr and San Antonio FC as we encroach upon the final quarter hour of this one.
New Mexico has significantly improved their ability to win that second ball, and I think that's what San Antonio did so well in the first half. As you saw, those 2 goals, they weren't coming from a quick transition or development like we've seen quite a few opportunities happen in the second half. It was more so just picking up off some loose opportunities.
Seymour, Josh Suggs. Moore, first touch, Wagner. And the flag is up. United and their coaches applaud the effort of their club.
Interestingly enough, although the intensity has increased, we've seen much more coming from Mexico United. I think the opportunities for San Antonio FC have been of much higher quality.
Much better, yeah.
Just couldn't get on the end of it.
Well, again, that was what the pressure of New Mexico having to play more direct was going to do for San Antonio on the offensive end. It was going to open it up, and it was going to give chance after chance. But we expected, particularly after the club scored 7 goals in Charleston, to maybe put away a few of those chances.
As long as they keep doing what they're doing, I think the only thing they really need to change is either quicker runs, starting the run quicker, or releasing the ball faster, not holding on to it so long. Maybe start to incorporate a 2-touch rule.
Connor Maloney. Wagner. Aaron ball. Shannon Gomez. Wait, and Shannon's going to make the turn, and he's got some operating room. Pirano, top of the box. A step. Pirano with hand left. That's blocked. Gomez. Top of the box. Stays with possession. Plenty of time to release. Finally does. Tainer. Hansen. Pirano. Oluwaseyi the turn. Oluwaseyi shot blocked.
Times you had Zuhair there camped at the 18. You even had Connor Maloney coming in to support an early release to either of those players. Could have got a quick switch going and maybe a cleaner look at the goal.
Sellout crowd at Toyota Field watches with bated breath here in this final quarter hour. A 2-1 advantage for the home side. But a New Mexico United club that is not going away.
Still plenty of time. And who knows how much extra time. Kick there.
Seymour. to search out Santi Moar, and Tainer didn't read it so well. Moar will get to the end of it. Moar into the box. Moar, Tainer, nice recovery. Moar tries to give it a go. That's blocked by Tainer. Really good recovery for Mitchell Tainer there. New Mexico will win possession of the ball back.
Typically, if Tainer can stand up a player, it works to his advantage, but it was a little lapse of judgment on that one. Happens to the best of us. As long as you make up for it, that's all that counts, right?
Yearwood, Wagner makes the run. Back here to New Mexico United. SAFC fans recognizing they need to perhaps manufacture their own energy here over these last 10 minutes plus. They have initiated the wave here at Toyota Field.
Foul coming for Batista. Lucky there. It wasn't a card. Sometimes once the ref gets your name on the sheet, he has it out for you. It's good to go here.
Portillo sending Weehan off to his left. Service into the box is headed out. Suggs will scamper over. Clips one back into the box. And again, the clearance for San Antonio. Perano maneuvers it over to Oluwaseyi. Lifting it along. Suggs wins the aerial duel. Headed out. San Antonio FC back to their bench. Zuhair is off and Corey Hayes will come on. Big night for Rita Zuhair, the 19-year-old, scores his first professional goal. Nacho Bailone.
Stand-out performance there from Rita Zuhair. Such a solid presence. Corey Hayes coming in, having to fill in some big shoes and continue with that momentum.
Oluwaseyi's home debut is in the books for 80 minutes tonight. Some chances to continue the magic from his recent run on the road. Just a couple of mishits. Otherwise, the outcome of this one would probably be long settled. But instead, here we are in a one-goal match with 10 minutes remaining.
As mentioned, Oluwaseyi has created so many quality opportunities just because of the way he was able to position himself.
Tambakis settling under that delivery from Abu.
Just continuing that thought. Again, that's something Alan Marcina had wanted to see in this matchup and seemed to work there. In this one, it was just the final pass, the final shot that they weren't so lucky in executing.
Weehan. Yearwood. Sam Hamilton is back now here as center back in Kelowna's departure. Switch the play over to Suggs. Volleys it forward. Tainer. Good win there for Seymour. Wagner. Wagner trying to slip past Fabian Garcia. And Garcia just held off the youngster enough to allow Jordan Farr to scamper over and claim it.
Great work there from Fabian Garcia. Bringing some man of the match quality here, both on the defensive side, just doing work in both boxes.
Even though it's his 6th pro match, Wagner certainly not fazed by the moment.
You can see he was trying to draw the foul there, not unwise.
Mexico back to their bench, and well, this will be some small consolation for San Antonio FC. Greg Hurst is on and Chris Weehan is off in the 82nd minute. So Hurst, who scored 6 times last year playing for Phoenix Rising, I don't know if anybody's breathing a sigh of relief just yet, but maybe they feel a little bit better here. with number 14 having a seat on the bench.
I feel that they must. It's almost like a curse has been maybe temporarily broken.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Got to credit Fabian Garcia for really just holding down the back line there in the center of the pitch, not giving him any space at all.
Perano. And a handball.
Might have let that first handball slide because it was in run of play, might have had an opportunity. But crowd is very displeased. I think if it were me, I would have much rather had that set piece.
Moar to Josh Suggs. Rivas. Well done. Santi Moar. Clips it to that back post, searching out Moreno. Tainer keeps it in play, drives it. Seats just below us. Mexico going quickly. We got 2 balls on the field. 1 is off, thanks to Seymour.
Gotta appreciate the sense of urgency there from New Mexico, cognizant of the time, not wanting to waste a single second.
Here's Hurst. 2 goals on the season for Greg Hurst. Free agent acquisition again from Phoenix last year. Well, Maloney had played that one well, but San Antonio able to come out with it. That's a hard tackle from Mitchell Tainer, going at the back of Santi Moar. He certainly put Mitchell into the books, and he's lucky if he only comes away with yellow out of it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Tackle from behind, headed towards the goal, had a clear look there. Great. Understandable foul, but lucky it wasn't a red.
And you're right, Katie. We had a great look at it from our vantage point. Tainer going high up on the hard challenge on Santi Moar, and Zach Prince is not happy that Tainer escapes with just a yellow in that scenario.
Moore incurring an injury, it looks like. That knee did not look happy on the receiving end of that kick from Mitch. Walking it off nonetheless.
Portillo over the ball here on a set piece try. Really good look at it here for New Mexico. As Jordan Farr looks to stand his ground. Portillo going for goal, and just too much underneath that one as it goes over goal.
Might have been trying to bend it to backside and just didn't quite get the spin he was looking for.
So San Antonio FC back to their bench for the final time, and it will be the newest acquisition for SAFC. The man they know as Tulu, who just came over on transfer from Hartford Athletic, makes his SAFC debut. 56 matches in USL play for Tulu over the last couple of years in Hartford. He also played for Tulsa. 3 goals in his career. 6'2", 190 pounds, representing the country of Togo.
Excited to see what he's able to do here in his debut. You know that there's a running streak of luck there for all these new SAFCers. Let's see if he can follow suit.
Miss hit there by Tulu. Hopefully that's not an inauspicious beginning for him.
You know, for Lamar Batista, a miss hit resulted in a goal for him, so you never know.
Great cross there for Hurst. Rivas. Nacho Bailoni wins the one-on-one battle there.
Marcina, excuse me, was recruiting Tulu. We've been talking about how we've had some injuries in the back line, and he just wanted someone who's more of a natural defender, natural center back who can step in and fulfill that role. Should there be any more injuries to come throughout the season, still a very long season ahead.
Seymour will direct that out. Throw belonging back to San Antonio FC, who will, I'm sure, be in a little less of a hurry than New Mexico at this point. Corey Hayes. The turn out of the tackle there of Rivas. Hansen. Well done, back to Hayes. Hayes, service in. Hansen at the top of the box, lost it. The counter from Moreno. He's trying to direct Wagner. The vertical ball. Wagner was running against 3 defenders there for San Antonio. It was almost going to have to be a picture-perfect pass from Armando Moreno to literally land on the feet of Wagner in stride if he was going to have any crack of daylight.
You are very right about that. Might have, on the one rare occasion, been of their benefit to hold on to that ball a little bit longer till you could have got numbers up. But again, got to try and take those chances while you can.
There's Pirano. Pirano, a little step. Pirano. Too much dribbling there. And now the counter again for New Mexico. It's Hurst. Challenge won by Abu. Or not entirely.
Hard one to call there. Seemed like it was all fair game.
Yearwood. Moreno. Wagner making that run. Be a foul on Wagner for a push in the back.
Young Wagner stirring the pot early on.
I gotta believe, you know, we've had just the one goal. Yeah, we've had a few substitutes. Not really a lot of injury time here in this second half. I can't imagine a substantial amount of stoppage time here at the end of the second half. 5 minutes, I think, would be relatively generous.
I try not to guess stoppage time anymore because I've been so wrong so many times. It's so subjective and up to the ref, I feel. But I know New Mexico is hoping for as much time as possible. But what an incredible game this has really developed into here in the second half.
Moar flicks it along. Wagner trying to keep it alive. Oh, he forces Tulu into taking a tackle to direct it out. 4 minutes. 4 minutes added time. So we were in the vicinity. About 5 minutes would be generous. 4 minutes seems about right.
I'm just going to go with what you say from now on extra time. Stay out of it on that one.
Well done from Lamar Batista. Wins it away from Armando Moreno. That's a foul on Moreno. Mexico might just run out of time here at the end. San Antonio FC, their fans starting to feel a little bit better here as we've crossed past the allotted 90 and moved into stoppage time. It was looking dicey, needless to say, at the 1 hour mark after New Mexico had closed the gap to 1. But really after that, Katie, they did not really have that great of an opportunity to find the equalizer.
That they haven't, but they've at least been able to spend some time in SAFC's half. Just not a ton of really clean, clear looks.
They have one last rush in them as Yearwood sends it forward. It drops down far out of position. Moar, Portillo looking to the back post, blocked. That might have been their chance right there with Jordan far out. Moreno, New Mexico a corner.
Interesting, the ref didn't call a foul there on Bailoni. Looked like a push from the back on that one.
Zach Prince waving Alex Timbakis up from his goal. Get into the box as we've come to the death here at Toyota Field in a 2-1 battle. Moore with a miss hit to the top of 115. which won't give him anything but heartache, unfortunately.
If that had been a zinger below the crossbar, that would have been a Sports Center top 10 for sure. It's a hard ball to hit when it's coming out like that. You don't know what the spin is on it half the time, but I mean, he had his chest up pretty high. It was going over the goal.
It's been a while since San Antonio FC has enjoyed a victory here at home. Started out with a win against Oakland Roots, knocked off Colorado Springs. They've played the 3 consecutive draws, Sacramento, Phoenix, and Las Vegas, but they're inching in on a full 3 points here tonight. It's a foul on Tulu, wrapping up Wagner. In the final minute of added time, Tulu right into the books in his first action as a member of SAFC.
Christened with his first yellow card in true SAFC fashion.
Portillo pushing everyone forward. Instructions for Tambakis as he comes over.
On Tulu, Coach Mercina had mentioned that he's a physical presence, great recovery speed, and dominant on the 1v1s.
Loney heads it out. Moreno. Seymour. The dying seconds. And the win by Batista. 4 against 1 the other way. Lamar Batista leads the charge. Batista, and the errant ball keeps New Mexico alive only for seconds.
No words. So many bodies in the box.
And San Antonio FC survives their first win at Toyota Field since the end of March. And the winner for Fabian Garcia just before halftime, and another classic between SAFC and New Mexico United, but it ends in 3 points for the home side tonight.
3 points or 3 points, but man, had they scored that final goal, that really would have put a bow on the entire game. But a result nonetheless, and that's really all you can ask for.
San Antonio FC now 6 wins as they cross the 20-point threshold, 22 points in the Western Conference table. San Antonio FC continues a 3-match homestand. They're back at Toyota Field Saturday night. They'll take on San Diego Loyal SC. We'll have all the action right here on Valley Sports beginning at 8 o'clock. Now, for Katie Goodman, our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss saying so long. This has been a presentation to the USL Championship and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. 2-1 your final. Have a great night, everybody.